Hi folks, I'm Dr. Challa Krishnaveer Abhishek, Soft Skills Faculty. I welcome you all to this MOOC course on emotional intelligence. So today's first session talks about introduction to emotional intelligence. So generally when we assess our kids, we assess them on IQ, that is intelligence quotient. But we completely leave out emotional quotient. But EQ is more important nowadays. Anger management, stress management, resilience, and perseverance are things that are looked at when hiring a candidate. So emotional intelligence nowadays plays a major role in corporate scenario, especially in this digital era. Coming to the next slide, let's understand the jargon, the important jargon, the important vocabulary in emotional intelligence, starting with emotions. Emotions or emotion is basically experienced for a very short time. It is an unconscious reaction. You don't do it consciously. It happens. It just happens right away. So, for example, if you're driving on a moped and suddenly someone overtakes you, you're startled, you're shocked. So, that is your first reaction. And that is your first physical response. Your breathing rate increases, your heart rate increases, you start to sweat because of the stress. And then your body language drastically and dramatically changes. So emotions basically, they come first and then come feelings. So when this external stimuli acts on your mind, acts on your body, when it enters through your sense organs, it starts working on your body, and then your mind weighs the pros and cons, and then feelings develop. So feelings happen as we begin to integrate emotions and when we start thinking about it. And when we let it soak in, let the emotions soak in. So our first reaction was shock. But then when you start thinking about actually what happened, he overtook you. So it is his mistake. So you start getting angry on him. That is your feeling. That is not an emotion. That's not your first reaction. Getting angry on him is your feeling. You got this feeling after you gave it a thought. So feelings are often fueled by a mix of emotions. Okay? So you're angry, you're fearful, you're sad that you didn't confront him. So there are a lot of emotions here. So feeling is conscious state of mind and can be experienced for a very long time. You can remember that incident. You will remember that incident for a very, very long time. And you feel like hitting that guy. You feel like confronting that guy, and you feel like expressing out your feelings to that guy, because he is the one who made this bundle of emotions inside you and made you restless. And then comes another important jargon, that is mood or moods. So moods develop from a combination of feelings. So a combination of emotions is feelings, and combinations of feelings is moods. So for example, a mood is generally influenced by your environment. For example, if the weather is cool, your mind is cool, your mood is good. And then if the people around you are praising you, if they're positive, so automatically your mood is good. For example, if there's lightning, suddenly you're scared, you're frightened, and you start showing your covered eyes, right? And then physiology. For example, after exercising, generally your mood is good, you feel energetic, you feel strong. And when you eat, your mood is good. When you're actually hungry, you have a very bad mood. Whenever we are focusing attention on our current emotions, for example, you might be watching a movie, but you might be thinking about something that happened yesterday, some bad thing that happened yesterday. So your mind also determines your mood. So that is very, very important. Not just your surroundings, not just your physiology, but what you're thinking currently also determines your mood. So basically it all starts in your subconscious mind and then goes to your past conditioning, your past experiences, mixed with your beliefs and your thoughts and your feelings, that gives you a vibe. So, for example, you go to a temple, you get a positive vibe. Why? Because in your subconscious mind, from your childhood, since your childhood, your past experiences. Whenever you went to a temple, you felt happy, and it's as if you're completely losing all your baggage of emotions before God. You're repenting before God, you're crying before God, you're releasing all your stress before God, you're praying for your desires before God. You have some sort of strength. Seeing God, you get some sort of confidence. So based on your past conditioning, what happens is, when you enter a temple, your subconscious mind immediately starts acting with your past conditioning, your past experiences, and it stimulates your beliefs, which says that this is a very positive place. Because since my childhood I've been going, I'm a practicing Hindu. So when I go to a temple, a Hindu temple, automatically I become it gives me a kick, it enthuses me, it instigates me positively. And I start getting positive thoughts. God, please fulfill this. God, thank you. You start showing your humility, your gratitude, and all. And then comes your feelings. Your feelings are also the mix of emotions that you have. All the mix of emotions that you have would be completely positive emotions, and then finally leading to a positive vibe. So, for example, you go to a cemetery. So, based on your past conditioning, cemetery is basically a negative place, where dead people are buried. So your beliefs state that, this is a place which is full of ghosts, or maybe full of spirits, maybe good or bad, mostly bad. And then your thoughts become negative, and then your feelings, will be a combination of sorrowfulness for the dead, and then fear, because you're scared of the bad spirits, evil spirits, and finally you get a negative vibe. So vibes in that sense serve as the connector between our energy level and our emotions. So what happens is, when you get a positive vibe, your energy levels are peaking, and when you're in a negative vibe, when you get a negative vibe, automatically your energy levels, they come down, and you become weak and fragile. And coming to the next slide, let's understand what emotional intelligence is. So before that, let us look at who is the father of emotional intelligence. It is Daniel Goleman. He is the father of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence was in existence since eternity. You find emotional intelligence using a varied vocabulary in our scriptures, be it Bible, be it Quran, be it Bhagavad Gita, you find emotional intelligence. But the word, this phrase emotional intelligence, was first used by Daniel Goleman. He's the first one to coin this emotional intelligence concept. So he defined emotional intelligence as abilities to recognize and regulate emotions. First, we need to identify the emotions, and then manage and regulate emotions in not just ourselves but also others. So it's not just identifying your emotions, it's also identifying others' current emotional state and behaving appropriately. So, for example, if I'm angry, if I recognize that I'm angry, there are more chances for me to control myself, to manage my emotions, and there are more chances that I won't slip my tongue and curse someone or show my anger on someone. So it is very important for me to identify my current emotional state and also identify others' emotional state too. For example, if they are sorrowful, he's thinking about his deceased parents or late grandparents, then I can't go to him or her and crack a joke. It would make the scenario completely awkward, and it might make him more angry also. So it's very important for me to understand others' emotions also, not just understanding my emotions and controlling and managing them. It's also about understanding others' emotional state and controlling and managing. So what it does is, it fosters positive relations. So in emotional intelligence, patience is required, insight is required, and imagination is required. For example, if I act on my current emotional state, would it be good or bad? So I have to understand the positives and negatives, weigh the pros and cons of acting upon my emotional state. In emotional intelligence, patience plays a very crucial role. So you have to be patient in dealing with your emotional state and also others' emotional state. It takes time, it requires perseverance, and then it requires an insight, a plan. It requires deep understanding and then imagination. Imagination, you just imagine if you act upon your emotions, what is the consequence? If you have a positive consequence, definitely you can act upon it, your emotions. But if you're losing your friends or if it does completely bad to you, it is better not to act upon it. So imagine where the pros and cons, understand the positives and negatives. And after that, intelligent, thoughtful presentation of emotions. For example, if you're angry, there's a way of portraying it, there's a way of showcasing your anger. You can use your intonation to show your anger, not just shout. Don't shout. Have a look. Your eye contact can be serious, and at the same time, your tone, your pitch should be high. With a high pitch, with the bass tone, if you talk seriously, automatically the other person would understand your intentions, and he will lower his gaze, and he will lower his stand, and he will completely change his perception and perspective and way of communication. So it depends on how we present our emotions. For example, you're taking a ride. Suppose you go to an exhibition and you hop on a roller coaster ride. Roller coaster rides are very scary, right? Pretty scary. So, but your girlfriend or boyfriend is sitting beside, so you can't show your fear. So you have to control it. Yes, you can show your fear, by shouting it out. Yay! By showing your ecstasy, by showing your happiness. It's as if you're showing your enthusiasm, but it is not. It is actually you're releasing your stress out. So there's a way of presenting your emotions. And also we should manage our emotions rather than control them. Don't completely subside your emotions. Don't completely control them. Manage them. Show them in such a way that people understand. Show them that you have become the victim. Don't suppress your emotions to such an extent that your mind can't handle. It will be a very big baggage. If you suppress your emotions a lot, there are chances that you burst out your emotions, you burst out your feelings at an inappropriate place, inappropriate time, inappropriate situation. So you should slowly show your emotions at a slower pace, and your emotions should be more about your body language rather than verbatim. And there are different ways of showcasing your emotions and different places. Completely controlling them would actually affect your health too. And showcasing them at a larger scale would also affect you. If you shout, if you're angry and if you shout, you are the one who's getting affected. Your BP rises. Your heart problems increase. It is not suggestible for anyone to get angry frequently. It is very, very important. Next slide. So how to articulate emotional intelligence? So basically fruitful conversations. It's important for you to share everything, so that that person can understand and assess you completely, understand your traits, your thinking, your character, your behavior, your attitude completely. So fruitful conversations and meaningful relations, developing meaningful relations, not fake relations that we are seeing in this era, in this virtual era. It's very important to develop meaningful relations. That's why people are having dogs, because at least they are the ones who can completely listen to us and understand us, and they won't leave us. That's why people are adopting dogs nowadays. So, and trusting dogs more than humans. So universe is the reflection of our mind. So for example, if you think that everything is positive, things are not going according to your plan, but still you will have a very positive insight and very positive perception, and you will be happy. For suppose there is an earthquake and suddenly everything is shaking and everybody is fearful, you just come out. Nothing happened, nothing broke, your house didn't fall down. It was just a small earthquake. Your perception can be, your reflection can be that, this is the first earthquake that I experienced in my life, so I can cherish it, right? So there's a way of looking at things. There's you can always look at the bright side or the positive side of things, and take only positive things. Now everything has two sides, two shades, negative and positive, light and dark. It's better that we stick to the light, so that we are always happy. If you're happy, then automatically you'll have a positive vibe, your energy levels will increase, and you will be motivated and inspired. It gets you going, and you will be more healthy. So the ability to monitor, how can you monitor? So the ability to monitor your emotions and also others' emotions, especially when it comes to counseling. A counselor is not the only one who counsels. A teacher also counsels, parents also counsel, siblings also counsel, friends also counsel. You can be in any situation, in any relation, but counseling skills play a very major role. And you have to discriminate between different emotions and label them appropriately. So, for example, as I said, feelings are a mixed bag of emotions. So you have sadness, you have sorrow, you have anger, you have frustration, all these irritation, all these together. So you have to disconnect them, discriminate them, and label them appropriately, so that when you showcase your emotions, you do it in a proper way. So, for example, you're scared, and the feeling of fear, it also adds anger sometimes. But when you label out anger, when you tag anger as a separate emotion, then only fear remains, and you start working only on fear. Then slowly after that you can start working on your anger. If you start working on each emotion one at a time, it will be easy for you to monitor them and to use emotional information to guide your thinking and behavior. So all this emotional intelligence, it should actually help you as a god, help you as a guide, that is always with you, that always sees to it that you act in a proper way, in a required way, in a way that is accepted by the society. You don't act on your id or your carnal desires. You act on your super ego with ethics and morals, because that is what the society desires, and at the end of the day, that is what gives you the Satchidananda, the real happiness. So it is always important for us to separate ourselves from our emotions. So instead of saying I am angry, you can say that I feel anger. So don't associate anger with you. Anger and you are separate. If you say I am angry, you are associating yourself with that emotion, and you become that emotion. There are more chances for you to become an angry young man. I'm just joking. But similarly, I'm nervous. Too, I feel nervousness. You're not nervous. You just feel it. You're just feeling nervousness. I'm jealous. Too, I feel jealousy. So sometimes people say I'm jealous. No, you're not jealous. You're just feeling that emotion. You're just feeling jealousy. If you associate yourself with jealousy, then automatically it will become your primary attitude. So jealousy is also positive. Anger is also positive. Sometimes to control people you need anger. Sometimes to motivate you to do something you need jealousy. Seeing, for example, your friend bought a car. So you will also work hard, get money and buy a car. So jealousy should make you do something, should make you act upon it positively. You should see to it that you use every emotion positively in the right direction. Thank you so much.
You're bound to get angry when someone conflicts your ideas, they question your beliefs, they hurt your sentiments, they insult you or the people you love. So, it's very important at this juncture for us to be emotionally intelligent so that we can answer back in an effective, efficient, and a productive manner that makes them truly understand our intentions and our feelings. Emotional intelligence starts with respecting yourself and then respecting others.